welcome back. It's that time when you get to join us on what's trending on social media. It's Joy News Interactive. Let's start with President Akufo-Addo. Now, he has announced government's intention to put in place a disaster policy last weekend after the atomic junction gas explosion. Cabinet today has been meeting over the policy. What do you suggest should go into such a policy intended to curtail the perennial gas explosions?
I think that they should not allow people to build their filling stations closer to schools. For me, I think that they should not allow them to build such filling stations in a place where human beings are living, because it's not good for us. Moreover, to building it in where people are going up and down is not good. And they should know the kind of food that sells by the roadside. Look at what happens. Like the man that was selling the meat causes everything. So they should know the people that will sell things by the filling station. Those that should go there and those that shouldn't go there.
I think close supervision and then relative responsibilities, because no one should tell you what you are supposed to do. Once you can supervise and see if something is going wrong, if you check the equipment time after time, you realize that there are one or two areas that is not going on well. And no one should come and tell you what to do. You have to know what to do. So these things have to go into the policies.
Interesting suggestions there. Let's see what you've been saying on Facebook. And Naneje says, I see this as an exercise in futility. This is not the first occurrence of gas explosion in Ghana. Our leaders convene at meetings after every catastrophe, but come out with vile implementation. I don't anticipate any positive outcome from this meeting. You're very pessimistic, Naneje. Well, Judicious Odreorik writes, I think the government should ban all filling stations from both residential and commercial areas, and I suggest they should build a giant wall around them that can block any fire extension to the next house whenever there's any explosion. I don't think any wall can withstand the power of any explosion, Judicious. But Judicious also adds that also there should be a law empowering EPA to make regular checks. Baya Jeremiah says zoning of our towns and cities and institutions charged with that responsibility should ensure it's complied with by all stakeholders. Some of the houses maneuver their ways into these fuel and gas stations due to the growth of our cities and towns. True. Well, incompatible land use has now become the norm in our daily activity, which doesn't augur well for us. Salih for Islam says the government should come out with a law that will ban all gas stations from being sited in places where many people come to transact business. With that, there will be reduction of people being affected if the disaster occurs. Justin by Lectere, I hope I pronounced that right. He says Ghana is a lawless state. We coined all the good laws, but we can't implement them. If it was another jurisdiction by now, some top government official would have been fired. God have mercy on Ghana. Kwesi Boateng Ayipa, he writes, the only new thing that should be added is banning filling stations from being sited in residential and commercial areas, and enforcing the existing laws is the enforcement that we need most. True, Kwesi, but as the EPA has stated, it's not against the law to site in residential and commercial areas. Now, also, just 2 days ago, several fuel stations have been shut down in the central region following last Saturday's gas explosion. But the oil marketing companies have described the move as a deliberate attempt to frustrate them. What do you make of your situation? Is it a genuine concern, or are they asking for too much?
I think they are thinking about their own individual interest, not the interest of Ghanaians. Because if you are building in a place which, in case of any trouble, will affect others, you should think about others who are going to purchase the fuel, others who are going to live or roam about the same area. So it's about the laws we should apply. And when making laws, we consider every citizen in the country, not an individual citizen.
If they are saying that they are victimizing them, they should, yes, maybe because there have been some actions taken, they may feel that the government is trying to victimize them. But I think they should also come into an agreement with the government. They should sit down, find a lasting solution to this And then I think because of they are in the industry, so if they sit with the government, they will also bring their ideas on board. And then if government takes it, it will also help them. But I don't think government should also just move in because they just want to find a solution to this. So you just moving on to some few companies and then shutting them down wouldn't solve anything still.
I think the OMC should sit its corporate, let me say, these institutions down and talk to them about it. If possible, they should come to a conclusion that they could comply with the rules. You get it? That's the best thing I think they should do, but not necessarily looking it at from the angle of victimization. Do you get it?
Interesting views there. Now, on Facebook, Judicious Odro Eric says, he's asking, do they think small-scale miners are happy when the ban on small-scale mining was enforced? They should keep quiet and suffer because we can't allow them to kill innocent people to get their money when they're not working according to the rules and regulations set by EPA. Kwesi Boateng Ayepa says, hypocrisy and dishonesty is our problem as a country. When did they realize they were not complying with the laws, and what steps have they taken all these during this period? We only exercise our power when there's tragedy. Such indolent and ineptitude behavior must cease in this country. Dan Anaksi Kwesi says more of such fuel stations should be closed down to avoid the miserable deaths to humanity. We must allow the laws of the nation to work. The law is not made for the rich. Let the ordinary citizens also feel that they are part of the society. All illegal fuel stations should be closed down. And Albert Tichoga says, I think the government should also extend the closure of some filling stations to Paga-Navrongo Road because I believe many stations there are sitting on a time bomb. We don't want another disaster to strike before government comes in. Good point there, Albert. Now, Emmanuel Kojo says, I really commend the EPA or the agency that shut down the companies. What are the OMCs trying to tell Ghanaians? That we should wait for another explosion for them to come and then give excuses? The nation is not ready for lawbreakers. So AMCs, please give us a break. Tahiru Dabre says, where were they and who gave them the license to operate? Quality assurance is better than quality control. May Allah save us. And Desmond Oakley says they are not happy with witch closures, so we should sit down for more people to lose their lives, right? Is that what they are telling us? And Stevie Stefan says, if they are not ready to meet standards, they should be permanently shut down. For once, let's do the right thing.